Rally at your own risk. US President Donald Trump says he will not be held responsible if supporters catch the coronavirus after attending his campaign rallies. He's made it compulsory for people to register and sign a waiver so that they can't sue if they fall ill. Mr. Trump will resume his campaign in Oklahoma next week, even as the coronavirus outbreaks continue to flare in the United States. Cases are rising in nearly half of the 50 states, and that includes Florida, Arizona, and North Carolina, where the president is set to hold rallies. In some parts of the country, the number of patients in hospital has climbed to an all-time high, and there are fears the situation could get worse as people return to work and venture out during the summer.
What we have is actually a lot of micro epidemics occurring across the country, and each one has their own drivers and their own reasons for happening.
Now, for more, Simon Marks joins us from Washington, D.C. Simon, the US president is making sure he can't be held liable if anyone falls ill from his rallies. Will there be any safety precautions, though, in the first place?
Well, we don't know the details yet, Steve. The White House will only say that everyone who attends the rally will be kept safe. But precisely what that means in the context of a Donald Trump rally with a president of the United States who has said that he doesn't want people wearing face masks at his events, that he doesn't want to see people safe distanced at his events, and who is now making people sign this waiver that says the Trump campaign, the arena where this rally is taking place, neither of them can be held responsible if anyone who goes gets COVID-19, suggests that the White House understands that there is a real risk of people contracting the virus during the president's rally in Oklahoma and the other rallies that he's planning in other parts of the country. And some of those are taking place, or planned to take place, in places where there have been a substantial increase in infections over the course of the last week. In Arizona, for example, where the president is proposing to hold a rally over the next couple of weeks. The state is warning that at its current rate, on its current trajectory, it will run out of hospital beds to treat COVID-19 patients by the beginning of next month. At the moment, we're closing in on 114,000 deaths from COVID-19 here in the United States, more than 2 million confirmed cases of infection. And the fact that the Trump administration is asking people, the Trump campaign is asking people to sign this waiver is in and of itself an indication that a second wave of infection is underway in the US.
All right, Simon, so despite cases rising, the Treasury Secretary has essentially ruled out a second shutdown.
Yeah, he said that on CNBC yesterday. Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin saying there are no circumstances under which the economy will be closed again. I mean, that interview appeared timed to try and calm the markets yesterday. If that was the case, the strategy didn't work, because we saw that precipitate plunge in the Dow and the S&P 500. Steve Mnuchin argues it's simply too costly to the United States, not just economically, but in terms of human lives lost, because he and the Trump administration argue that when you close an economy down, that creates all sorts of mental health issues for people who are told they can't go back to work, they have to stay home, their livelihoods are being denied to them. So it's not a cost-free decision, even putting the economic consequences to one side. But public health officials have warned for weeks that a second wave could be absolutely pernicious here, and how it can be controlled in an environment in which the Treasury Secretary is saying under no circumstances will the economy be shut down again. That's going to be the question for the next few weeks and months here.
Okay, many thanks for that, Simon Marks, speaking to us from Washington, D.C.